This is my state, this is my team. You know what that means. This is for the black and blue that I bleed. This is for the chance to bring home that ring. But everybody gonna doubt this. So far there ain't been another way around it. We bring heat to the game each week. They just say we ain't got what it takes, we ain't bout it. Well, y'all can just keep saying that we ain't gonna make it, but at the end of the day, this'll be the Panthers nation. You know, this ain't a game to us major players at every angle that you can think of. That's why you hate us. Get out the way of greatness. You can look at our faces and see the blood, sweat, and tears that it took to create this. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, but you can save it. Cause even on the darkest of days, you know we're always gonna find a way to tell them what we gonna do, we gotta.
Hey, Chris Jenkins, credential member of the media.
All right. Let's get into this action right here. Day 8 of training camp. How we feeling, folks? We feeling good right now? Welcome on in to the stream. before we get started, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that bell, select all, leave a comment down below if you feel like doing so. If you're enjoying the content, if you're enjoying the streams, if you're enjoying the videos, please do so. And don't forget to check out the Facebook group page. Keep pounding in all caps for in-game posts, polls, opinions, and reactions to NFL news. Ooh, excuse me. And also, schedules for the channel, plus the Fantasy Football League for this year of 2022. Yahoo Sports Fantasy Football League. If you guys are interested in it, check the post on the page, on the Facebook page. That'll tell you where to go and allow you to join. So, yeah, if that's what you're interested in, go check that out. Okay, folks, day 8. First of all, shout out to David, Sean, and anyone else in chat right now. And I got a special shout out for the group of people that I saw today and met with today. First time meeting them. Give me just a second, Facebook. I'm gonna shout out those names on here real quick. Donna, Ed Myers, Donovan, and Keelan. I think I'm saying those names correctly. Shout out to all y'all. And if you were one of those people that I was shouting out, you will hear those shout outs on YouTube from today. So, information out there for the shout outs. So, there you go. I had to go on my phone to find it. So, sorry about that. I'm streaming from my phone on Facebook. So, there you go. But there's your shout outs. Wonderful people. You know, I am so blessed to meet new subscribers and new people that want to be a part of this amazing community that we're building. You know, and it's beautiful, man. Yeah, I love talking to people during training camp, and I apologize if the stream went down for a half a second. Just refresh it if it's on Facebook, if you guys don't mind. So, day 8. Let's get into this madness, because there's a lot to talk about here. There's a lot to get into. Doop. Now, I was listening to the C3, the C3 podcast earlier today. I'm not going to say anything that I heard from that C3 podcast because it contradicts everything I'm about to say. And as y'all know, I've been at these training camps for about 4 or 5 days now. Okay? I've seen this stuff in person. So if people want to contradict this stuff, that is fine. Go right ahead and do so. But I'm just going to tell y'all what I saw. Point blank, this is what I saw. The first thing I saw was the quarterbacks throwing into a net on the second practice field. You know, and at first, you wouldn't think anything of that drill. Okay? But, here's the thing. These guys rolled out, you know, moved their feet a little bit, and then threw it at the net. And it simulates like what happens in the pocket when you get pressured and you have to move within the pocket or move outside of the pocket, you know, to get your throw accomplished. I'm going to tell you, the accuracy on those throws was beautiful. And that goes for all three quarterbacks. That goes for Sam, Matt Corral, and Baker out there. So, again, first drill, nothing major, no real pressure, nothing going on. It's just throwing into a net. So, you can't really judge on that. But what that drill does is it's footwork. Okay? It's footwork and accuracy. And a lot of people are going to be like, well, his arm is perfect, his accuracy is perfect. It ain't got nothing to do with the quarterback competition. It really doesn't. It's technique. And I know people are going to make a mountain out of a molehill about that. But it's exactly that. It's technique. Nothing more than that. Alright, so you got your kickoff return drills. I saw 81, 20, and 18 involved in that on returns. Alright, so let's see if I can get you some names to go with those numbers. Alright, so 81 is going to be CJ Saunders. And so far, so good with CJ. I've seen a lot of good things out of him this training camp. There's some popularity about him going up against DBs and having a lot of success. So, I'm going to echo that. A lot of success against those DBs. Now, that being said, you could double him up as a kick returner or a punt returner. Alright, so 20. 20 had to have been the new guy that we just got, because that number is not on this list. That's got to be the new corner. Alright, at 18, obviously, is Andre Roberts. Alright, so as of right now, I've seen about 2 or 3 different sets of people being tested out at punt and kick returner. And that's early, But once you start seeing the last 2 to 3 days of training camp, then you'll see like a certain set of people just consistently being back there returning kicks, and it'll narrow it down to about 2 at that point. And then fan day should be the determining factor where they figure out, okay, I want this person as the permanent kick returner that we're going to put in the depth chart for the first preseason game. Alright, so that's essentially what that is. But as of today, you saw 81, 20, and 18 back there. So, I don't recall who it was the last few times that I've seen the kick return drills, because I saw them, I did see them on Tuesday as well, and I don't recall who it was that was back there. Maybe some of y'all were there, and you could probably tell me, but I don't remember. Regardless of that, next section, you had the linebackers focus on pass deflections. Now, why this is important? You saw Louvu get a pass deflection on Wednesday. On Wednesday. Thursday, they had a day off. And today, you saw another one from one of the guys in our secondary. So, I'm not sure whether the linebacker or not, I don't remember. But there was one today, for sure. think it was a corner. As a matter of fact. That'll probably be later on in my notes. So you had another group of the secondary focused on the run and catch. So you got your DBs focused on the run and catch, but you've also got your linebackers, maybe the second set of linebackers, the third stringers, focused on the run and catch today. So in another section of the field, you got the wide receiver that running some route drills, some easy route drills, some run and catch drills, simple stuff. You got your DB footwork drills, basic stuff again. And this is the one I want to point out in the notes. And I pointed this out in the video, and I'm not sure how many of y'all saw this if you were out there today. But I was watching that D-line. They were pushing a bar out there. And I think it was either the linebackers or some of the D-linemen pushing this big bar. And the drill that you would expect to measure the strength and the pass rush. Okay, so why I'm highlighting this one is because it made a difference in the 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s. And by the way, if you're one of the people that I met today and you're looking for that shout out, I already shouted you guys out. Just check the VOD, early part of the stream. So, but love talking to y'all, man. Thank you so much for coming out to this training camp and being a part of this and meeting up with me. So, shout out to Harvey, shout out to Corey McKinney that's in my Facebook chat right now. What's up, guys? How y'all doing today? But yeah, that strength drill with the bar made a difference in the 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s today. And we'll kind of get into that in a little bit, because I kind of want to keep going through these notes. There's a few important factors here that people need to focus on just as much. Woods had a one-handed catch during a DB catch drill. Now, why this is important is it shows that Woods has the hands to catch some of these balls. In crucial situations, maybe on a 50-50 ball, maybe in a really tight situation window. And he's got those hands, dude. So I expect something from him in one of the preseason games. Don't let me down, Xavier. I know that's a tall task for you right out of the gate, but as a Panther, but show me something, man. I want to see a big play. You showed us you could catch some of those one-handeds. Let's see what you got. Always raise the bar with these guys, man. That's the key, man. Always raise the bar. There's always a bar to get to. If there isn't, create one. So then I saw them all go over to the third field. And I found that very curious because I've never seen them do this. Unless they're either trying to hide something or they're trying to work on a secret play or something. Or they just don't want to show us something. And that was very curious to me. I don't know what they were doing over there. Maybe working on some plays for the 11-on-11s or 7-on-7s, maybe. Maybe that's what it was. I'm not entirely sure. But if somebody was out there today, maybe you could tell me and you had a better view of what was going on over there. Because I didn't want to lose my spot on that hill. There were so many people out there, I did not want to lose that spot. Because that was a good spot. I was able to view both practice fields that were in front of me. You know, so it was not a wise idea. Yeah, Zylstra went up high for a touchdown catch. Ian Thomas had like 3 drops that I know of, and I came late. Okay. Yes, I can confirm both of those things. Both of those things did indeed happen. I thought one of those drops was Trimble, actually, but apparently it was Ian. I don't know. Maybe I got the number wrong. But so they came back over, and then we had the 7-on-7s. Yeah, Trimble had 2. Yes, I do remember one of them. I don't think I saw the second one, but or I just wasn't looking when he had that second one. Was that second one over on the other practice field? Is that the one you're mentioning? Like on the furthest practice field? Because I know the second one happened right in front of us. That I know for sure during an 11-on-11. Because I saw that one. I don't recall the other one. But, yeah, I can definitely confirm one, though. So they started out with some running plays. You had a really nice pancake block from Brady Christensen to open things up. There was a penalty on one of the lines, and I'm not sure who it was or what that was. I'm going to guess like a false start because it was tough to tell from the angle that I had. But it could have been a false start. Ooh, excuse my yawns. I have a lack of sleep right now, so just bear with me. That's how training camp is, man. I just run on Mountain Dews and just I'm wired, you know, for most of the days of this month. So if you see a lot of yawning, that's why. So I'm running on like a lack of sleep. You know, so just don't mind them. Trimble was slightly overthrown on a deep route, but it still touched his hand. Should have been caught. At least should have laid out. Yes. Yes, that's the one. That's the one I was thinking of. Yep. Trimble had 1 or 2. Pretty sure it was on 7-on-7, though. Donald only took like 1 deep shot today. Yep, that's true. The rest of those deep shots were from Baker. He is correct about all of this. But yeah, Brady Christensen had a really good pancake block today, which I was very impressed with, and opened up a gap for the running backs. And, you know, it seemed at first that the offensive line was winning. And then, more and more over time, it became a real back and forth battle between the offensive line and defensive line. So I just want to kind of highlight, you know, that's what it looked like to me from my perspective. So you had the pancake block. Somebody missed a block on the left side, and I'm not sure who it was. Well, Brady Christensen was dealing with Brian Burns for the most part on the matchups with the ones. So I don't think it was Brian. I think it was somebody that got subbed in. That's my guess. Although I could be wrong. Like I said, without the video footage, it gets infinitely harder to get these names and numbers. So if I miss some names and numbers and I don't give proper credit and I don't give proper tough love here, that would be why. You know, and I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. I'm just saying that's the reason why. I'm not going to say anything more than that on that issue. But yeah, the running back room looks real good, man. I'm real happy with the running back room. I like what I've seen so far out of the 4 days that I've been there, out of the running backs. You know, you give CMC a few reps, he gets it done, but you realistically, and it's gonna drive me nuts who the other running back was that I was impressed with. Y'all have to forgive me, man. I don't know these names and numbers by heart. It's tough to get them, man. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Levitt. Who was it, man? Spencer Brown. Spencer Brown has really been impressing me. Yeah. Spencer's growing on me, man. I'm telling you. I've seen quite a few drills from this dude in the 4 days that I've been there, and he's really starting to grow on me. I think we got some potential there. Very much potential there. For the moment, we got a real competition going on for that number 2 spot at running back right now. And I think a lot of people are going to overlook it. But yes, there is a lot of competition for the number 2 running back spot. And a lot of that came into play today. In the form of sweeps, ISOs, and draws. And the draws being the most prominent. And I'm going to tell you in a second why the draws were the most important one. But first, I want to focus on that offensive line that only had those positive habits going where we don't have penalties throughout training camp with the offensive line. That is such an improvement. Such an improvement. I dare say that's the best thing out of camp so far for me. Is seeing that. It's like Christmas morning. Compared to last year. It's like night and day compared to last year. This offensive line coach is getting the job done. Discipline-wise. I'm very, very happy with that. And likewise, the D-line is not causing any offside penalties or anything like that either. You know, they're keeping it disciplined as well. So, shout out to the D-line coach as well. He's doing an excellent job. Now, here's where all of this connects. You continue to see good run blocking, especially on the right side. You know, if you're looking at the offense from the back to the front, you know, I really liked what I was seeing there. There was a false start during 11 on 11s that wasn't called. I didn't see who it was, but it was clear right in front of where I was seeing. Wow. Okay. Mark that as 3 then. Mark that as 3. Okay. Okay. That's still not concerning, to me. Because training camp is where you can iron out all those messy details. And see this stuff on tape and say, okay, we still need to clean this up before preseason. Because it's not going to matter until preseason, you know what I mean? So it's good that we're getting these out of our system, but it's also good that you're not seeing many of them either. Because that's going to be a good sign leading up into preseason. You could also look at it as a double-edged sword where, again, it's training camp. It's too early to tell. So, my advice, just take it as it is. As far as the penalties are concerned. Take it as it is. Take it for what you see and nothing more. And that's how I judge it. It would be interesting to know who was penalized too, because they have camp bodies. Yeah, exactly. Those camp bodies don't matter. You're right. That's what I'm looking for too, Corey McKinney, because if you start seeing patterns where it's the same guy over and over and over again, that's a problem. You know what I mean? And now we have that new offensive line coach, so we shouldn't have that discipline problem that we had before. So that should be cleaned up very, very quickly if we do start having those issues. That's what I'm expecting. It was at this point during practice that you started to see that defensive line start to step up and start to stop these runs on the outside. And I was like, finally. Took you guys long enough. Like, if you've been watching up until now with training camp, you'll notice that these running backs are just running circles around these D-lines. And I mean first, second, and third string up until this point. And today was the first real sign of that D-line showing some aggression and showing some fight to stop that. So I was very happy with that. And that particular play there on the sweep play, on the 7-on-7s, is where it began. And it just escalated from there. And I was like, yes. Yes, 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 show me more. Because if we go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, that's a healthy thing. With the both the lines winning this set, defensive line wins this set, offensive line wins this set, then the defensive line switches back and wins this set. That's a healthy thing. You want to see that because that shows me that one of two things. You're going to see that they are balanced, number one. Number two, that all of the weaknesses are going to get exposed by watching that seesaw battle. And you'll start to see patterns form that you can pick from and say, okay, well, this player continues to do this, and struggles with this. And you'll see it 2, 3, 4 plays in a row. If you start to see that, that's what you need to work on. But if you don't see it, and you just see the seesaw battle going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, that is completely healthy and good. And that's exactly what we saw today. And I was very happy with that. That's the first signs I've seen that both of these lines are equally balanced and testing each other. Fully testing each other. And I want to see more of it. I'm going to be there tomorrow, and I'm going to watch that for that specifically from these lines. I want to see it. And I mean, first string, second string, third string, on down the line. I need to see it from everybody. Balance each other out. You know, let's earn those wins, man. You know, don't just give it to them. Earn it. And I want to see you guys fight for this stuff, man. Because that's how you start to win a seat at the table of the 53-man roster. If you're an offensive lineman, that is how you start to win those battles and ensure that you get a paycheck. Icky seems to be learning from TMO, Taro Moten. I'm excited for this. Yes, absolutely yes. You saw it from day one. Icky was learning from Taro Moten. I mean, it was completely obvious that's what he was doing. He was listening to him, talking to him during meetings, you know, or after meetings, you know, having conversations with him, soaking it in like a sponge. And I love seeing that from a brand new offensive lineman. Especially with somebody like Icky, man. Because God knows I love Icky right now. This dude is the representation of what we're trying to do. Point blank, he is on that line. He's the next generation of what we want. So you go into the 7-on-7s. You see DJ get involved heavily, which is healthy. And like I've said on a previous stream, if you throw it to DJ, it's going to make you look good. I don't care who you are on that depth chart as a quarterback. It's going to make you look good. Because DJ is going to catch everything under the sun. It's a rare thing when you see him drop a ball. Either that thing is overthrown or it's not thrown in your general direction that DJ can catch it. Typically. The dude's a ball hawk. So, he's going to make you look good, especially on short throws. And his yards after the catch is spectacular. So, one particular player that again caught my attention was CJ in the wide receiver core. And the reason being is this dude is starting to ball out. And I like it. You know, there's a healthy competition between him, Shy Smith, and TMJ for that last spot, you know, in the starting rotation. And that's a good thing. As far as like special packages, you'll see one of these three in. And I think, you know, Matt Rule actually did say it's a tight competition and these guys are really good. You know, so it's going to be tough cutting one of these guys. It is. He's right about that one. And that feeds into a larger discussion, you know, is Matt Rule able to properly evaluate these players? We'll discuss that in a little bit, you know, because that's one of the factors I want to discuss in that conversation. But we'll get there. That's real good. Keep pounding. There you go. Shout out Harvey. Appreciate you on that one. Side note, Shy, Icky, and TMO are some of the nicest players I've ever met and have a ton of respect for. CJ Saunders now. I think CJ makes practice squad, but he really signed everything for everyone. He left when there may have been 50 people left. Yeah. I think I even got one from him. I think I did. I'm trying to see on here because I had like a ton of people sign this. And it's still going, boys. It's still going, ladies and gentlemen. Look at all these autographs. And these are big names, too. We're talking Ian Thomas. We're talking Robbie Anderson signed it today as well. Baker. Brian Burns. You know, shout out to all these players that have signed this so far, man. I got love for everybody, man. I got Sam Tacklenberg today. I mean, that's one of my favorites right there. I like Sam Tacklenberg. He may not even make the roster, but I like this dude as a person. You know, if you listen to his presser, you know, he's a good dude, man. And I got nothing but positive things to say about some of these guys, man. You know, they're absolute gentlemen. And yeah, it's just such a beautiful thing to see them coming out there and signing people's autographs and just talking to people and being themselves, man, and interacting. It's so cool. And that's something that we missed, you know, during those COVID years. And now we have it back, and it's such a blessing. It really is. Harvey says, I'm excited to see Baker throwing bombs behind that massive wall we built here in the den. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That starting five is starting to shape up. It's really starting to shape up. They're disciplined. They're consistently disciplined, I might add. That's the second practice now that I've been to where they haven't really committed many penalties. If you remember earlier this week, I said that these guys did not commit a single penalty during 7-on-7s or 11-on-11s. Today, yes, there were a few. But, I mean, that's to be expected. You're not going to have perfection every day at camp. And this is the time to get rid of those little wrinkles. You know what I mean? Get them out of your system. Get them out of there before you get to preseason. It's fine. I got no problem with it. Just don't turn it into habits. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing. And none of them have. So that tells me these coaches are doing their jobs. And doing it properly. So, you saw CJ get heavily involved again today. Robbie Anderson, they overthrew Robbie once today. And I think that was a Sam Darnold throw. And I was like, yeah, not surprising. Not surprising at all. Sam's had trouble with deep balls. I mean, that's not new. But I like to see him improve on those medium balls a little bit better. You know, medium part of the field. Let's try to work our way up. You know, work our way up the ladder. Eventually, we're going to hit one of those passes with DJ deep, you know. You may not see Robbie on the deep routes. You may see him on the shorter routes to try to get, you know, the medium routes to see if we can get some of these first downs that we know Sam can complete. But it's going to be tricky, man. But nah, I wouldn't try to throw a bomb to Robbie again if you're Sam Darnold. It's not going to work. there's a huge history of overthrowing him. Speaking of Robbie, he did have a touchdown Wednesday? Yeah, he had a touchdown on Wednesday. So, very pleasantly surprised with that. Also, I saw the video that he posted where he said it when he didn't want Baker here, it was more so to support Sam Darnold in the chemistry that he said he claimed that they had. And that's an interesting thing for me because that chemistry that those two have, I don't know that you would even call it a chemistry, really, in my opinion. But, you know, if other players and people want to call it a chemistry, go for it, you know. You know, call it whatever you feel like is, that's up to you. But today there was the overthrow. So Baker threw a good pass to Colin. And then Mr. Higgins ran the wrong route. Now, no, I wouldn't make a big deal out of this, but, you know, this is the first wrong route I've seen so far in camp. You know, and again, it's training camp. But it's the first one that really led to a massive incomplete pass. So I do emphasize, you know, running the right routes, making sure you're in the right positions, and I know the coaches are already telling you guys this if you're a wide receiver. So, you know, there's nothing new there. You know, I'm not gonna continue on with that. No point. Following that up, there was a good pass to Shi Smith who was doubled up. And I've seen a lot of interesting passes where these wide receivers are doubled up by defenders and they have to squeeze some of these passes in there into a tiny narrow window. And both of them have managed to do it, Sam Darnold and Baker, successfully in short yardage situations. Now, what I want to see is try that a little deeper, you know, on the field. Let's see how that goes. You know, keep stretching that limit. And let's just see how far that goes. And I want to see which one wins. Because that's going to tell me how accurate are you, you know, in tight window situations. That's really going to highlight the accuracy for me. You get a good idea of what you're dealing with. You know, you'll have some measure of how good these guys really are. And not only that, throw the blitzes at them too during those situations. I want to see full-on blitzes during those. And let's add some crowd noise. Let's see how these guys do. You know what I mean? Keep stretching those double coverage windows. And let's see. You know, you're not going to see it on deep passing, but I want to see it in medium range. Not just short. Because you're going to see a lot of game time situations where that happens. I've lost count of how many of those that have happened in the last couple of years. So, and Sam doesn't really have a very good track record on those. And again, I've only seen a few games of Baker up in Cleveland, so I can't really judge on that. So what I can judge on Baker is what I've seen in camp so far, of him in person. And he can do it in short yardage. He's proven that. I've seen those. I haven't seen the medium range passes yet. So let's try that out. Let's see how that goes. Then we'll come back and have that conversation again, about his accuracy in tight window situations. But I saw Higgins have a good recovery play where he caught a Sam Darnold pass and did really well with it. Got a few yards after the catch and looked good. So remember, again, I've said this many times. How do you recover from a bad play? You come out and you go harder the next play. And you show these coaches that you're not just raw meat on this depth chart. Show them that you could do something more than what you just showed them. Come back out there harder. Ball out. And shout out to Higgins, man. He's done that. He has done that a few times. In the 4 days that I've been out there, I've seen it at least once every time that I've been out there. So I'm very happy to see that. We mentioned the Tommy Tremble drops. TMJ dropped one. DMJ did drop one. Now, granted, this was a Baker pass, but he did drop one. Speaking of TMJ, I just heard earlier today, after I put the video out, that he is on the PUP list. And I'm very sad to see that happen because he's been having an excellent camp. And thus far, we've only had 3 players on that PUP list, and nobody else has gotten injured. So, praise the good Lord, everybody's still healthy, man. This is, we have gotten very, very lucky when it came to that this year. Everybody's still healthy. We're all good. Nobody's had twisted ankles or any of that nonsense this year. Like you normally have. So, whatever they're doing, it's working. But, shout out to TMJ, man. Heal up fast. I want to see you back out there, and I want to see you balling out again, man. Because you're a good guy, and you've been really putting in the work. And it's made me very happy to see that. And I believe if he comes back strong and if he comes back healthy within a week or so, I don't know what injury he has, mind you. I have no idea what injury he has. Because all I was told is he's on the PUP list. And I had to find this out through the C3 podcast. So I have no idea. I did not know this before that point. But I hope he heals up fast and he comes back out and he balls out, man. Because he was on track to absolutely have a shot at a 53-man roster spot. Absolutely. I believe that he would have had it had he kept going and not ended up on that list. So we'll see how long he stays on it and what the extent of that injury is. If anybody finds out before I do, keep me apprised. And we'll continue to monitor that. But he's one of the players that I'm keeping a close eye on, man, because he has really caught my eyes this year. Again, Colin with another great play from a Baker throw. You know, the tight ends have shown up. No doubt about it. Tight ends have shown up. From top to bottom. Ian's still struggling a little bit here in camp with the drops. So, I would say let's work with him a little bit on the jug machine maybe and see if we can get him back on target. But I've also seen him get some touchdown plays too. So let's not throw him under the bus. You know, Ian is still Ian out there, you know, with his skills. But it's just those hands, man. You got to work on those hands. But I'm here for it. I'm here to back up my man Ian. I like this dude, man, and he's a good guy. Colin Thompson seems a little slow to me in person. Yeah, he does seem a little slow, but his hands make up for it. His hands and his strength make up for it. His blocking makes up for it as well on run blocking. So I am happy with that. And if you're going to be a tight end on this team, you've got to know how to run block, period. Point blank, period. Because you're not going to get very far on this depth chart if you can't block. So, I've been very satisfied with the tight ends and how they've been blocking so far on run plays. I've maybe seen a couple of missed blocks, you know, early on, but I kind of took it as grain of salt its first week, you know, without pads. So, who's really paying attention to that? It's when you put them in pads, that's when it starts to matter as far as blocking. And frankly, I've only seen maybe one missed block from a tight end on the running game so far. So, I mean, that's a really good sign. And I don't believe that missed block was from Collins, so I think it was from somebody else. Probably Tommy Trimble, if I'm not mistaken. You know, it's been a minute, so again, if I had video footage, I would be able to tell you. But hey, I'm not. That's okay though. So we move on to the 11 on 11s. And the 11 on 11s really, really got intense. And when I say intense, I mean it with the line battle. You started to see more and more of the run defense stepping up. You started to see more of these little check down passes to CMC, these safe little throws, because the pass rush was starting to ramp up a little. And I was happy with that, but it was nowhere near enough. Not as much as what I saw on Saturday. I wanted to see what I saw on Saturday continued to happen. You know, where the pass rush really turns on the gas, you know, and goes after it. And really test this O-line. Let's see how you do. And I didn't really see that from the pass rush today, but that's okay. You know, it's one day. You still got a few more days left at camp, right? So I'll be out there tomorrow, so I'll be looking for that tomorrow. Also, I'll be out there Tuesday. So then you saw CJ actually did have a drop. I will say that CJ did have a drop, but I'm not going to make a mountain of a molehill here because he had a really good day besides that. So we continue on, and you got a big run from Dante Foreman, making the most out of these gaps, that the O-line is creating for him. And it's just beautiful to see. We saw some good pass blocking from the line. And then they went back to the run. And this was where Spencer Brown, really stepped up here. He showed that strength. He showed that speed that I was looking for. I've seen it before in the last 2 training camp days that I've been there. And then I saw it again. Spencer is really, really... He's got some talent, man. You got to put respect on this man's name. He's having a good camp. And that O-line is really making him look good, too. I got to say that, too. They're opening up those gaps for him. They're giving him an opportunity. And he's taking it. So, shout out to both on that. On those situations. Now, the next thing I want to point out is that there was an excellent block and then on that particular play. And that was 73? Actually, Michael Jordan. Yeah. Surprisingly, Michael Jordan had an excellent block. And I was like, wait a minute. Is that who I think it was? It had that pancake block, man? I was like, wow. Okay. Let's see if this man can keep doing the same things he's doing, or was this a one-time fluke? Because if you've been watching Michael Jordan in the last few years, he's been absolute trash. So if he makes a recovery, man, and he starts balling out on the line, I'll be very impressed. I would love to see it happen. But for right now, it's just one play. It just happened to highlight him, so I wanted to give him his credit. As much as I've been throwing this dude under the bus in the last year, I want to give him his credit. Next thing you see is a punch out from Bravion Roy. Now, this is what I want to highlight here, because the defense has been working on punch outs, they've been working on creating turnovers, and this is one of the main ways that they've been able to do it is the peanut punch. And you saw the peanut punch drills on Saturday as well as Tuesday of this week. So they're working on it, I didn't see them today, but, it doesn't mean they're not working on it. This is the point in the practice where you see the draw plays start to either work or not work. Work or not work. And it went back and forth at a seesaw battle on that. And I was like, okay, this is progress. This is absolutely progress because we struggled against the draw last year in the second half of the year. It's clearly obvious we could not stop anything rushing-wise in the second half of the year. Especially the outside runs. So to see some of the outside runs get stopped in training camp today, and at least half of the draw plays get stuffed right at the line, to where they may get like 3 yards or something like that, is encouraging. That's progress. You know, it's not where we want them to be just yet, but that's progress. And I will definitely reward progress where it is due. But this is where that started, was they started running those draws, and it was jam-packed up the middle. That is Steve Wilkes' defense that was here. You can mark that down, folks. This dude had full control of that running game in 16 and 17 with the weapons that we had on that defense during that time. And granted, those weapons were slowly degrading and fading off into the free agent pool, and we lost a lot of them. But, you know, to see them step up like they did today for the first time in years since we had Wilkes back here as an assistant head coach or a defensive coordinator, made all the difference in the world. And I think the other thing that made the difference today was the fact that Luke Kuechly actually visited us on Wednesday. So I saw the picture. Somebody found that picture and put it up on their channel. So credit to them. I forget whose channel it was that did it, but you know, credit to them. Yeah, very exciting to see Luke out there. You know, we get a chance to pick that man's brain. We get a chance to get motivated from, you know, his ideas and his thought processes and just overall what he did. You know, anytime you could benefit from Luke Kuechly, it is a treasure trove of information that you can use. You know, I fully encourage you not to waste that opportunity and take full advantage of it if you're a player. You will not regret that. I promise. Everything that man teaches you, you can use in your game. Same with Thomas Davis. Same with any of the old vets that want to speak up and help out, you know, with the team. Please do. We fully encourage any old vets that are retired Panther players, you know, please do come by the training camps. Help these guys out, you know, coach them up a little bit. Even if you just got a few hours, you know, just come on by. You know, we'd love to have you out there. And we would love to benefit from that knowledge as much as possible. Shout out to Deborah. How you doing? But yeah, that particular time period of the training camp today just really started that battle of just like back and forth seesaw. Let's stop the draw play versus let's try to get 3 yards or more on it. And I was just watching them go back and forth like a ping pong game, you know, and I was like, this is what we want to see. You know, balance each other out. This is healthy. This is good. You know, we're making serious progress with this. Excuse me again. I'm a little tired, running on a lack of sleep here, but you know, I'm equally just as wired. So ignore the yawns if you don't mind. you get into the red zone drills. You know, after a nice, easy throw to Richie, you know, with no coverage around him, good plays there. D-line gets another good run stop, you know, after the false start. So, yeah, and I did not get a name or a number on the false start, so nobody really did. So, but if anyone did, let me know if you had a better view. So we started out with Sam. He hit Higgins. He hit Zylstra, both for touchdowns. The line looked solid, pass protection wise, on both of those plays. And here again, the D-line wins again on a draw play stop. And this is timed right. This is with the crowd noise. So, you have to consider that. You have to keep that in mind. And Saunders catches one in the back of the end zone. Has an excellent catch on it. And, you know, or was that Higgins? I want to say that was Higgins. I got to double check that footage again that the Panthers official media put out. But the number I got was number 81 on that one. So I don't know. Maybe I got it wrong. So the D-line stops another draw play right at the line, stuffs them, and then Baker throws a massive pass to your boy Zylstra in the end zone. Happy to see that, man. Love seeing Zylstra get involved. Chuba runs for a touchdown. So getting Chuba involved, you know, in those red zone packages. Love to see that. Then next drive, you see Baker hit Higgins deep on a deep pass. And this is significant because we've had a lot of trouble with the deep ball in Carolina here. So, any one of these three quarterbacks that could hit those deep passes and hit them consistently while still hitting the short and medium passes where they need to is going to win this competition. Flat out. Because that's what we've had the most issues with. And anyone that's been paying attention will know that. That's been here. That's been watching these games. That's been, you know, watching the coaching evaluate this stuff. Again, it's too early to tell. This quarterback battle will go on until the end of preseason, and then they will determine a winner. It's too early to tell that right now. And for anybody that thinks, oh, let's just automatically install Kerr as the starting quarterback, or let's just automatically install Matt Corral as the starter, clearly doesn't understand how competition works at training camp. Flat out. They don't get it. Because, and I'm talking about a certain commentator whose name starts with S. Shannon Sharp called him out on it, man. Shannon Sharp called him out. And he's right, too. If everybody thinks that Baker is the man for the job, then let him earn it. It's that simple. So you got Cameron Irving with a good block that opened the door for a rushing touchdown. You know, so give Cameron Irving his credit on that. And I noticed they took Dante Jackson out of that next play. Now, why that's important is that wide receiver now has an opportunity to beat out a second string corner who, if you're a first string wide receiver, you're sensing an opportunity. You know, this is Dante Jackson now. You take him out. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? Like, piece of candy. You know what I mean? Like, let's see what happens. So, on that next play, Davion Nixon has a very good pass rush on Baker and forces him to throw it away. Again, the line still looks solid. You know, that pass rush is one of the few really good pass rushes I saw today. You know, I didn't see many, but I saw a few. But give David Nixon his credit. So I've seen him make 2 plays today. So I saw him make a play at training camp as well. You know, so give Davion Nixon his due. He's starting to ball out, and you start to earn it. It's slow going right out of the gate, you know, because we didn't have pads. Also, the first couple of days were a little awkward getting used to the pads. You know, you start working on the technical hands, footwork, stuff like that. Then you get slowly used to all the little things start to matter at that point with pads on. And it's safe to say some of these defensive players don't really turn it on until like 3 days into pads, right? So here comes Nixon turning it on days 3 and 4 with pads on. You know, so not a surprise to me. Considering the pass rush that we saw on Saturday, that's very, very good. Last Saturday. There was a very impressive run up the middle on a draw play for a touchdown, 2-yard line. I would bet on Shuba being the one that got that one, but I'm not 100% sure because of his size and weight. But, and his strength as well. And they started out another section here. So, you had another draw play successful for 3 yards. You know, offensive line wins that battle. Barely. On that particular play. Baker goes to throw, overthrow ball, even under protection. You know, quarterback battle rages on. You got good protection, and these guys just can't find a target and just throw it away. I don't get it. But okay. Moving on. D-line rises up and wins another run battle. This time for a loss of yards. Okay, mind you, they had not been successfully doing that before. This was the one play I've seen them actually get negative yards out of a running back in all of training camp. And I was very, very impressed. I was like, now we're getting somewhere. Because if you guys can consistently do that, and the offensive line starts to balance that out by successfully blocking you and holding you for about, we'll say 3 seconds. The count of 3 Mississippi is how they do it. 3 Mississippi, I think, right? If they successfully pull that off for 3 seconds, after the D-line has successfully gotten your running back for a loss of yards, this is starting to become something serious on both sides of the line, where both sides of the line are winning. And that is healthy. And that's a very, very good sign for what your lines are going to look like. But you can also play devil's advocate here and play that double-edged sword and say, well, there's the glaring weaknesses of the success of the other part of the line, you know. But, I mean, that's up to the viewer to behold that one and decide. And frankly, the way they would do that is if there's patterns, either good or bad, they're going to show up in those cases. Once you've already had those battles. So you saw one really good pass from PJ to Ian. I was thrilled with that. That was a touchdown. So, as many drops as we talked about with Ian today, he did get that one touchdown. So I would say he did redeem himself. Good blocking and rushing on a draw play allowed for another touchdown. A rushing touchdown this time. And that's how your practice ended for today. So, again, if I called your name out as a player, you did well. Or you had something to work on. So, let's see it. If you did well, let's see you continue that. If you struggled, let's see your redemption. Come back harder. You still got a few days of camp left. Come back harder, man. You still got preseason if you're a vet, And you can earn that spot. Without a doubt. Go earn it. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Ball out. Don't wait for the next man up to do something. Ball out yourself. And none of these guys are waiting for that, man. They're balling out. And I got respect for every one of these guys, man, that has stepped up on this field. Your camp bodies are going to be camp bodies. They're going to show up at that point. But when the rest of these guys start balling out like that, that's very healthy. And that's good. That's a good sign for the future right there. Now, we can go position by position and talk about how strong each one is so far in camp. Thus far, and at the end of training camp, I'm going to put out my final look, or my second look video. Final look video is going to be after preseason is over, and I've already looked at everything. You know what I mean? We've already put out our 53, and all that whatnot. So, right now we're at second look stage, where we can still look at that schedule and we can still do same predictions, and I'm still going to stick with 7 wins. But I think by the final look video, I think it probably won't change. I'm solidly stuck on that 7-win number right now. I'm just feeling it right now. And it won't be enough to keep Matt Rule around. Which, I mean, to a lot of Panthers fans is definitely a good thing. So, depends on who you ask. But nine people out of 10 that you ask in the Panthers fan base don't like Rule at all. Which leads to the better question here. How good at evaluating players is he? You know, and again, I want to give people a chance to come in here and debate this stuff, man. Zoom's open. So if you guys have any comments, man, let me know if you're in chat. You know, come on in here. Let's talk about this because this is a major issue right here. Is he capable of evaluating players or isn't he? And I highlighted something earlier about the offensive line. That is a potential conversation starter on that. Or a debate starter, depending on how you look at it. The offensive line was evaluated by Scott Fitterer on Wednesday. I want y'all to keep that in mind. Scott himself was out there either Tuesday or Wednesday and looking at that offensive line. And I was like, well, that explains why I saw what I saw on Tuesday. Y'all know what I mean? Like, that explains a lot. Because you want to look good for the big boss. The big head honcho that got you there. You know, because Matt Rule didn't get you there. He just offered up a couple of names, and then Scott said, nah. We're going this direction. You know? Scott said, enough of this Toy Story nonsense. I'm pulling in the people I want. You know? So, he went out there and evaluated these guys himself. He said, okay, let's see these guys ball out. Let's see what I paid for. And he was not disappointed, I can tell you that. The fact that we heard nothing from him so far in any press conference or anything means he is having a tough time evaluating these guys. Man, this is the part of the job I would not want to have. You know, as a head coach or a GM, is trying to narrow down a 90-man roster down to a 53. Sheesh. I would not want that job at that point. Y'all can skip that duty for me. Y'all know what I mean, man. Unfortunately, you can't skip that. You gotta go through it. And it's tough, man. It's really tough, man, because you're gonna cut somebody that is really, really talented. Some other team is gonna grab them, and you're gonna be like, "Dang it! I should have kept this guy." You know, I knew he had potential. I knew these guys were gonna be hunting him. And if you look at the Buffalo Bills, they're always hunting former Panther players. That's nothing new. They're still doing it today. Even though you don't see any of these players on that roster anymore. But I guarantee you they're still hunting us. They're keeping a close eye on that transaction paid. I guarantee it. Y'all watch what I'm telling you. 99 times out of 10, out of 100, man, they're going to be watching us. They're going to figure out, okay, let's keep an eye on this player, and this player. They got a board, man. They got a board on us for sure at this point. Because frankly, they are this close to actually making the Super Bowl. All they need is one more of our guys. And they finally got wise and said, these guys are getting old. Even though they were on our Super Bowl team, they are getting old. So we're going to start moving some people. You know, get some of this capital back. So that's what they did. You know, you don't see AJ Klein on there anymore, I don't think. I'll have to check that roster, but I don't see him. I didn't last time I was looking. For anyone wondering about the Hall of Fame game, I'll address that in a minute too. Buffalo Bills, right? Who looking them up? Yeah. Let's see how many of these former Panther players are still on that depth chart. I'm curious. Let's see. And this is interesting because they're rotating people out. Greg Van Rotten's still there. Was Spencer Brown part of our group or no? I don't remember. I know Greg Rizal is. He was for sure. And I want to. That can't be the same Nick McLeod from Clemson, could it? No, Notre Dame. Okay. Alright, yeah, so right now it's just two former Panthers that I see on this list, which is Greg Van Roten in third string at right guard and Greg Rizal at left defensive end starter role. That's it so far. I'll go through this again just to make sure, but I want y'all to know about a couple of players that are on that Bills defense while we're talking about them. And that's Micah Hyde. And if you know who Micah Hyde is, this dude is a dangerous safety in the league. One of the most dangerous ones out there. Yeah, sure, people aren't talking about him. There's a reason why people are not talking about him. He wants to be under the radar. Because once you put him under the radar, he's going to show up and he's going to do some damage. I mean, that's just Michael Hyde's MO, man. That's just who he is. You don't see him in many press conferences. You don't see him out there very often. But the dude balls out when he's on the field. And you got to be aware of where he is at all times. You know, it's... that is important when playing the Bills. The other player I want to point out is Von Miller. And if you've been paying attention to Von Miller, any team this guy plays for is on track for the win of the Super Bowl automatically right out of the gate. If you got him for a certain number of years. You know, he's going to ball out. He's going to get you there. He's going to get you a Lombardi. And the fact that the Bills have signed this man for 7 years. 7 years. That should scare y'all. Anyone that's playing the Bills in the next few years, that should scare you. Because Von has been the kryptonite of just about 2 or 3 different Super Bowl level offensive lines in the most recent 5 years. Including ours back in 2015. And I mean, NFL playoff contender type offensive lines. This dude has figured them out and shut them down. This is a dangerous player, folks. In my opinion, he's probably the most dangerous linebacker out there. And I know I'm going to get a lot of head turns on that one. I'm going to get a lot of eye rolls on that one. But y'all watch what I'm telling you. He shut our offense down. He found our only weak link, our only kryptonite in 2015. He did it again against the Kansas City Chiefs in the most recent years. I mean, the dude is just that good at what he does. I don't know why he's not getting enough respect on his name. Because he deserves it. But, you know, anytime you see that name on a defense, look out. As long as he's still got his skills and he's not too old yet, watch out. That's not going to end well for you. If you're the opposing team that plays them in the playoffs. So, and he excels in the playoff time. Let's be real here, man. This dude excels in the playoff time. There's a history of it. You talk about what he did with the Denver Broncos. You talk about what he did before that. The dude's a monster. Let me just show this on stream. Hold on, y'all. And there's a reason I'm saying this, because if we somehow make it up to Easy Street, you know, and start playing some playoff games and make it into the Super Bowl, we're going to have to face these guys eventually. This Bills team eventually. They're not slowing down. They're only getting better. And I just want y'all to see, the rankings are not going to be telltale enough. But look at the numbers. 33 solo tackles, 9.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble. And that's just last year. And look who he was a part of that year. The LA Rams. I mean, need I say more? Need I say more, y'all? Any team that gets this man is already on the track. Denver Broncos 1-15. Man's got 2 rings now. 2 rings. If that doesn't scare you, I don't know what will. If you're an opposing defense. Now, thankfully, we don't have the Bills on our schedule, I don't think. Let me just double check that, make sure. I don't think we have him. But he was a round 1 pick 2. For a reason. Alright, so let's see about that schedule. Yeah, we just have him in preseason right now. Thankfully, that game will not count. That's a nasty looking depth chart though, man. I got a feeling they're going the distance again. And I highlight this because if you've got a good, strong linebacker in your core, you're going to go a long way throughout the season. And I'm not talking about, a Von Miller type. I'm talking like a really strong linebacker. Maybe AJ Klein's level. Starting material, but not quite Hall of Famer material. You know what I mean? Or Pro Bowl material. On the verge of Pro Bowl material. These guys are going to do some damage throughout the regular season. And I think we got a potential one on our team right now, named Frankie Louvu. Now, I know a lot of people are going to think I'm nuts, but if you've seen Frankie Louvu's potential over the last 2 years, what he's done in training camp and preseason last year, what he did in regular season last year, what he's already doing in training camp this year, yeah, we got ourselves a baller. We got ourselves a dog on this defense. And that's a good thing. Very, very good thing. We still got some work to do. I'm building around him. But I like what I'm seeing. Linebacking core could use some work still. I see the door open for some depth that we should try to acquire in the next 2 years. But again, if we get that depth, we're in good shape. So, I've addressed the linebacker now. I've addressed running backs already. The tight ends room looks okay. The wide receiver room looks good right now. Happy with the wide receiver room. O-line looks much improved. We still got a lot of work to do on continuity, as people have mentioned. But I like it so far. We made progress with that this week, which I'm very pleased about. We still got a few more days to go. We still got some work to do, but great start on that. Figured out. Then you could start to properly evaluate this quarterback battle. Since the wide receivers are looking good, and the tight ends are okay. We haven't really been using tight ends that much anyway, so yeah. But you're starting to see a little bit more of that in the training camp with Ben, in his system, so that's good. So maybe, you could factor that in this year. Whereas you wouldn't have been able to before. Moving on to the defensive end position, I feel like we could use an extra defensive end. Right now, it's still looking solid, but we could use an extra one, man. We could use that balancing point. I feel like we got the speed with Brian Burns, but we need the strength on the other side. To counter, to make it that 1-2 punch that we used to have with Greg Hardy and today, man. That was a duo. We were feared in pass rushing. We were absolutely feared. Nobody wanted to mess with that duo. And that's what I wanted us to get back to, is that point where we are feared for the things that we have on this roster. Where it becomes a major problem game planning around it. And I don't believe we have any of those types of special players right now that are capable of getting that, having that kind of success. But that's okay. We've got very, very good ones, and, it doesn't have to be top of the league as long as it gets the job done. That's the point. Just get the job done. The rest will take care of itself. If people think you're top in the league, then they'll think you're top in the league. If they don't, then they don't. We're still accomplishing our goal. We're getting it done. We're putting that pressure on them, whether we get sacks or not. And we put a lot of heat on quarterbacks last year. Don't get it twisted. We put a lot of heat on those quarterbacks. But none of these pass rushers are a Julius Peppers type. So, and that's okay. They don't need to be. Just get the job done. Balance it out. Speed on one side, strength on the other. Boom. So, we got our speed guy, we got Brian Burns. So let's find the counterbalance. Who's going to be our strength guy? Let's look into it. People were saying, hold on. Let me look at this depth chart because I'm going to remember this name once I see it. Okay. People are going to say that they think Gross Matos has that in him. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's debatable for me. But, I like Haynes Sr. right now. I think he's got a lot of potential in him. I think we're on target, man. As far as, pass rushing from the left side. Because we've got Barno as well. He's solid. Daryl Johnson I can sort of account for so far. I need to look at him a little bit more. But right now, I do like what I'm seeing there. And some of these camp bodies we'll see a little bit more of in preseason. But, I don't know much about Jacob here in second string. That's what I need to look at on the right side. Frank Heron, either, I'm not sure. Austin Larkin, again, I'm not sure. So that's what the pass rushing looks like. I think we got a shot there to really do something and succeed with it. Moving on to the corner position. You got Dante Jackson, J.C. Horn, CJ. Excuse me. Excuse the yawns. And of course, Keith at corner. So I think we're okay there. We're still looking for that number 4 guy, that can compete with Keith. And I don't know why they put Miles Hartsfield in second string. ESPN, I don't know why y'all did that. That makes no sense to me. Hartsfield is a free safety, man. Put him at free safety where he belongs. And we're very blessed to have J.C. Horn back and healthy again. So we'll see where that goes. Again, Dante Jackson is Dante Jackson. You can expect good things from him. CJ's been having a great camp. I think that's going to translate into preseason and possibly into the regular season. Now, Keith, I can't really speak for because I haven't seen much of. Barnes, I've looked at a little bit. Harper and Westry, I haven't seen at all. So, actually, I take that back. What I did see Westry make a play during one of those training camp days. So, credit to Westry on that one play. I think it was a pass deflection. Great job. Alright, so safety position, finally. You got Jeremy Chin, Xavier Woods. Both are solid and not going anywhere. Burris, I really like. Kenny Robinson is okay. Happy with those. Sean Chandler is complete garbage in certain situations. Do not put him in. You all know how I feel about him if you've been watching my streams from the past year. Not going to harp on that. Not even going to get started on that. Sam Franklin Jr., I do like him. And I think he should get that third string over Sean Chandler. My opinion. Purely my opinion. There's a lot of argument over who's going to be our rotation on the offensive line. I've seen a little bit of Deontay Brown so far, and I'm happy with him. Michael Jordan actually made one play today, which surprised me. We talked about that. Brady Christensen should be fighting for first string with Icky. So I'd like to see that happen. With Irving being third string. Pat Eflin should have a battle with Cade Mays for that left guard spot. Let's see what happens there. Bozeman obviously is our center. Corbett is our right guard, obviously. You know, no argument there. Tara Moten, obviously right tackle. So, any way you slice it, that right side starting rotation looks good. Looks real good. Frankly, I trust it. After the corner pickup, we're still at 21 million. You know, just above it. So, not bad. Amazingly, the Browns, even though they, with all of this stuff going on, somehow they still have a whopping $48.7 million in cap space. How in the world is that even possible? I don't know, y'all tell me. That blows my mind. I don't know about y'all, but that blows my mind. After all these big salaries they still gotta pay, man. And they'll get all that done. And that number will look somewhere around where ours is. Ours is right now. Probably 28 by the time they're done signing all these people. Because you gotta admit that Clowney is on that list. You gotta admit that Garrett's on that list, I believe. There's a few big names. So I think it should that should go really well for them. To where they can re-sign easily. And these players are going to start asking for more money. They do it all the time with the agents. So, when they see that big cap space, they say, ooh, I want a slice of that. You know? In Canton, Sam Mills has earned the respect of his peers. They see all the plays he made over the years. Excellent. Oh, this is hilarious. I saw this when I was out there. Okay. Gordon Hayward.
Gordon Hayward here, Charlotte Hornets. I'm here checking out the Panthers practice. I want to see what they got.
Oh, soaring, leaping, one-handed. We just saw man fly. That will not make the highlights. No.
And the ball is light.
Rejected by the two ball. No.
She wasn't ready. Look out, whoa! Better luck next year.
And they're just messing around with this little basketball goal.
What do you get, 6 inches off the ground, maybe?
That's amazing.
On behalf of all the Carolina Panthers.
I loved it, man. That was beautiful. You know, that's just these guys goofing around after practices and stuff. You gotta enjoy that, though. You know, it's a little lighthearted fun. I saw him carrying around that basketball goal, and I was just like, what in the world are they gonna do with that? Yeah, it turns out it was that Charlotte Hornets guy, so there you go. I was wondering about that. But, hey. I would like to... Hold up, if you could sign up for... Oh, ESPN. Okay. Quick question. How many of y'all signed up for the ESPN Fantasy Football? Pigskin Pick'em, you know, Eliminator Challenge? I'm just curious. I know one person said they did. And they like doing that every year. But yeah, we had Gaffney High School come out there today and do a joint practice with us. Man, that was a lot of fun. I hope these guys learned a lot. You know, take what you learned with you and apply it to your own team. You know, use that as motivation for when you're working out, for when you're studying the playbook, whatever you're doing, you know. Use it as motivation. And understand, these players love this game. You know, that are in Carolina right now. They love this game. So, take that passion with you as well. Let it reignite your fire for your love of the game, Gaffney players, because I'm so happy to see the youth get that opportunity to learn from our players in Carolina, you know, and get that unique chance to do something with that information. But yeah, I hope they learned a lot, man. That's really cool. Highlights. So we got CMC just doing his thing. Matt Corral hits Keith Kirkwood. Okay, this is the one I want to show everybody. We can break this one down. And I swear if they give us a copyright strike after keeping us from shooting video, I swear y'all better not give me a copyright strike for this nonsense, man. Because I'm trying to use this for educational purposes. Y'all know this. And y'all can back me up on this. So if I hear anything about a copyright strike because I've used this content, you know, as a training tool or a teaching tool, I'm going to be very grumpy. Alright, so let's do this. Proper credit to Panthers.com. I do not own the rights to this footage. Alright, let's continue. This is Matt Corral, back of the end zone. Keith Kirkwood, excellent pass, right on the money. Alright. So, you saw the smoothness, you saw the footwork, the hands on that particular throw, and it looked solid, man. It looked really solid. I mean, that's what you want. So, to me, Matt Corral is very much still in this competition. Don't rule him out. You know, it's throws like that one right there that keep Matt in the race. Although he's got a very, very, very much outside shot at winning it. So, I don't see it happening. Because Sam Darnold is the manager, is Matt Rule's favorite. Scott Fitter seems to favor Baker Mayfield. So you got Matt Corral just said, where does that leave me? Well, you got some of the fans saying Matt Corral is going to do well, but how many of those fans actually are 100% on board with that? You know, after they start watching Baker hit some of these big throws and Sam hit some of these like double coverage throws, they go, hold up a minute. Now wait just 1 minute. Matt's still in this thing. I'll do that playbook. I'm gonna pull a Drew Brees over here, and y'all ain't gonna slow me down. I want this just as much as the rest of these guys do. Yeah, I was listening to ESPN Radio Upstate earlier today, and they're just like, "Oh, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield seems to think he's got a chip on his shoulder, and he thinks he's got this figured out, and he's going to easily win the job. So, you know, he's got that ego problem, right? Wrong. Far from it. I mean, if you want to talk about his competitive fire, just watch him out there, man. Just watch him. But, yeah, the levels of hype that he throws out there could be toned down a notch or two. But as far as, like, his competitive fire, turn that up to 1,000. Because this dude is competitive. There's no doubt. Matt Corral is out there balling out. And whether he has that shot at winning that starting job, nah. Don't see it this year. Dante Jackson punches the ball out. Yeah, see, that was the other day. Boom. There it is. And Dante's been doing an excellent job. And there's Frankie Louva's interception. I'm sure you guys saw that one. I'll show it one more time. Why not? I mean, while we're here, right? Gotta wait for the ad. But, yeah, it's there. Alright, so let's look at this interception, man. Sorry for the blue screen. Let's try it again. What a snag by this big dude right here, man. Woo Voo. Woo Voo. This dude is my guy, man. I love Woo Voo. God, I love Woo Voo. If y'all been watching my streams since last year, you know Woo Voo is my dude. Alright, so. Love that, man. That was a little fun snippet of Brian Burns crashing CMC's press conference. I'm not gonna bother with that. That's some foolishness. You know what I mean? That's some lighthearted foolishness, but it's good to have that light humor, you know, and to be able to just enjoy that time at training camp. You know, you're with 90 guys. You know, if you're one of the players, you're with 89 other guys, and you're just like, hey, let's have some fun, man. Let's do some karaoke. Let's do some basketball hoops. Let's do some whatever y'all choose to do, man. It's just fun, man. You know, silly stuff like that. Where they mess with people in their interviews. Just silly stuff like that. I mean, that's fun. That's absolutely fun to see. And it builds chemistry. It builds, you know, loyalty towards each other. You know, it builds love, man. That's a positive thing to see right there. You love seeing stuff like that. Alright, so I'm going to review one more thing, and then we're going to open it up to the chat. That's what we're going to do. And also, if you have not gotten tickets to FanFest, I highly recommend you do that as quickly as possible. These things will sell out, and scalpers will kill you on ticket prices if you are not careful. Alright. Members of the Gaffney High School football team had a chance to see professional football practice up close. The Panthers had a chance to reminisce. So, I mean, it's good for both, man. And some of these guys in the Gaffney high school team were just like, I've been dreaming of a chance to be out there and see these guys and watch a NFL team do what they do, you know, in training camp. And that's something, man. And I mean, this is coming from Loftus, right? Their quarterback, who says, it's kind of a realization moment, kind of shocking. I'm a guy who grew up watching NFL Network all the time, so to be up here actually in the sport of the interview is pretty cool. You know, this is the dream of a young kid, the position that these guys have. The coach says, just for our kids, just to be able to step on the field. Even me, I'm not even on the field with a pro football team. He's never been on the field with a pro football team. Absolutely, man. It's beautiful. It's absolutely awesome to see, like, this is what you are dreaming of, Gaffney football players. This is what any high school football team players are dreaming of. All the way down from middle school, even youth leagues, you know? And they have that dream of making the NFL, man. And if you put in the hard work, if you put in the time and the effort and the sweat and everything else, man, it's something, man. And the fact that we are supporting the opportunity for them to check us out, man, you know, that means everything to these kids. Everything. To see them get that opportunity is huge. Hey bro, can I get a fast summary of what you saw at day 8? Alright, fast summary. We'll see how fast this is. I may end up giving you a long version, but I'm going to try to give you a short version. Alright, first thing I saw today that was encouraging is both the offensive and defensive lines were both battling each other in a very healthy way and competing with one another back and forth like a seesaw. That's what you want to see. I didn't see enough pass rush today, you know, to like I did on Saturday, so, you know, take it for what it is. There were a couple of redemption catches from certain players. Excuse me. Quarterback battle rages on, really. Today Baker won, but I mean tomorrow Sam might win. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna keep going back and forth. That quarterback battle is not gonna be over until the end of preseason. I'll keep saying it till I'm blue in the face. People don't want to believe it, but I'll keep saying it. The running backs look good. You know, the linebackers are focused on pass coverage and turnovers, which is good. The DBs have been focused on turnovers and footwork and technique, and have been successful with that. We did see one pass deflection today. Happy with that. But I'd like to see more. Step up that game a little bit. I mean, overall, we are making progress as a whole unit. And it makes me happy to see that. We've had a bad history of certain things, and we're starting to show improvement in those certain things today. So, real quick, man, again, that offensive line looking solid. You only saw a few penalties today, but I mean, that's natural. During training camp, you're going to see a few penalties, as long as they don't turn into major ones and they don't turn into habits, you know, then you're good. But mostly the D-line and the offensive line were battling with the draw play up the middle, the running back draw play. And sometimes you would see the offensive line buck up and win. Other times you would see the defensive line buck up and win. You know, and stuff them. But we did see a one tackle for a loss from the D-line, which really made me happy. And we saw a couple of good situations. I would say a good 4 or 5 today from the defensive ends, where we stopped some of these sweep plays and ISO plays, which made me happy because that was one of our biggest weaknesses last year. All in all, there's a lot of debates going on about who's going to start where. There's a lot of people that don't agree with each other right now. But again, credit to Michael Jordan for the big pancake block today. Excellent job. You know, we've been looking to see improvement from him as of lately, and we saw it, and I mean, that's very, very encouraging. And like I said, these guys had fun today. You know, we had Gaffney out there watching, learning from us, and taking that info from us with them. So that's cool. And that's kind of where I was right there. You know, you had all the usual starters doing what they do. You know, DJ, CMC, all these guys, man. All the usual suspects getting their reps in and getting the job done. CJ Saunders, again, showing up. You know, making things happen. Terrence Marshall Jr. on the PUP list. We cut a long snapper this week. So that's media credentials. Okay. I do remember I was talking about that, media credentials. But I'll look at that later. It's really exciting for them to do something this awesome for the younger high schools and the middle schools and whatnot for that. So excited, man. But yeah, look at it. If you look at the diagram, this is essentially what you're looking at with training camp, is this area right here. You'll see a lot of the work done with quarterbacks and wide receivers on field 3. You'll see most of the stuff done on field 2 here, right in front of the fan seating. Most of the 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s will be here on field 2. Although they have been known to do them on field 3 a lot. So, be expecting that. And today they had a group meeting or something going on over here on field 1. And I don't understand what they were doing. You know, so I don't know what drills those were. I don't know anything about what happened on field 1. So if anybody's got any info on that, please do let me know. You know, I don't think it was anything spectacular, but I did not want to give up my seat because I had a real good seat where I was. So, you know, because I'm generally sitting over here near the road, you know, this area right here, and I'm able to get a real good view of field 2 and some of field 3. Yeah, it's a long way to look over here, you know, to get names and numbers, but I try to do my best. But honestly, if they go over to field 1, you can't see anything. You just can't see anything. So, that's kind of to give you an idea of what you're doing with there. But yeah, beats me what they were doing on field 1 though. I have no idea. I was sitting there going, this is totally unusual for the entire 90-man roster, plus the coaches and everything else, to go over there. It's uncanny. I've never seen them all do that before. Well, I've seen them do it a few times, but it's been rare. That was back in the Ron Rivera days, you know, when they used to do that, but a few times. But, yeah, I have no idea what they were doing today in field 1. That was bizarre. I'll keep you apprised if I find out, though. Thanks for that summary, by the way. Yeah, you're welcome, Matt. Yeah, the video, the post-review video is out. So if you want to watch that, that'll kind of give you a longer summary of what went on there, if you got the time for that. Tomorrow while I'm at camp. You know, definitely check that out. It's worth your time. And of course, I continue my campaign of autographs, in which I got Robbie Anderson today. I got Sam Tacklenberg today. And I'm telling you, this is starting to feel like Panthers bingo on here now. It's starting to legit feel like Panthers bingo. I mean, look at all these, man. This is crazy. I love it. Like, I've never had that much success with big name Panthers players signing this thing. Like, it's beautiful. Just a quick, you know, idea of who's signed where, you know. Most of them have signed on their names on here. You know, if you picked one of these up from training camp, you already have one of these, so you can kind of follow along here. But if you didn't, then I got Brian Burns, I got Sam Tacklenberg, Ian Thomas, Robbie Anderson, like I said today, Shai Smith actually signed one up there towards the top. You got, let's see, Ian Thomas, who signed it. I want to say, I think that might have been Icky that signed on here too. I don't know. Somebody signed like right above his picture, and I'm not sure why. Unless it was actually him. Yeah, my memory's a little slow this week, so y'all have to work with me here. But, yeah, I got Colin Thompson, number 86 down here. I got my man Daryl Johnson, who signed on his picture. You know, so... And the biggest one I got is Baker Mayfield. I actually did get a chance to talk to Baker Mayfield for a minute, you know, and that was fun. That was a heck of a lot of fun. So, I encourage you, if you get a chance to go out there and get some of these autographs while you're there, please do so. You know, these guys are very, very generous about this, and they will come over and they will sign. Some of them will, some won't. You know, it all depends on how they're feeling that day, you know. And, you know, give them some appreciation. If you're down there and you're getting autographs, give them some appreciation. Tell them thank you for coming over. We appreciate it. You know, you didn't have to do that, but we appreciate it. You know, and we're very thankful. You know, that y'all continue to do this. You know, and shout out our channel. You know, if you're down there, man, shout out our channel to them. Let them know who we are. Tell them to look for the Facebook group page. You know, that's the easiest way to find our channel. So, that's if y'all get a chance to do that. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know who I've already promoted the channel to. Kalen Barnes, Brian Burns, and I think there was one other player that I did as well. Sam Tacklenberg, I think. I tried to promote it to Robbie. I don't think he was very interested. So, you know, fair enough. But, you know, I try to get all the big linemen and people like that, you know. Because these guys will show a little interest in it. In checking out some of these channels and stuff like that. I've seen that happen a lot. And I'm very, very thankful that each and every one of y'all decided to come by and check it out if you did. If you're one of those players, thank you very, very much. It's an honor and a blessing to have you here. And, you know, hopefully the content that you're seeing does our channel justice and shows us who we are to you. You know, because it's all love up in here, man. It's all love. You know, that's who we are. If I gotta show tough love, I gotta show it. But, you know, I praise who I have to praise. We're an honest group here, and we are a truthful group here, realistic, and it's a great community, man. You know, Lock Poppy, much love to you, man. This dude has been in every stream that I've done so far, and I just wanna give this man some love right now. I appreciate this, man. Like, you a real one. That and David Screws has been talking to me off camera as well as on camera here in the chat. You know, so much love to him. And I see Corey McKinney in here every once in a while too. You know, shout out to you, man. Much love to you, dude. You know, we may not agree on everything, Corey McKinney, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate you being here, man, and shouting out your opinions and stuff like that. You know, feel free to jump in that Zoom if you want to, man, and join the streams if you want to. Because I'd love to have you here, man. Now, even if we disagree, let's have those discussions, man. It's healthy. You know what I mean? Yo, what's up, Corey Schaffner? Appreciate you, man. Welcome on in. And, you know, if you were one of those players that I promoted the channel to, again, much love. Hey, spread the word around to anybody and anybody that you know that might be interested in what we do. You know, that's real talk, man. We're trying to get that viewer count up. We're trying to get new people in here into the community that are good people, man. You know, good great family members here. You know, that's what it's all about. Your shows are underrated, man. Thank you so much, Lot Poppy, man. I appreciate that compliment. You know, that really means a lot to me as a streamer because, you know, there are some days where I'm just like, why do I get on camera? Why do I do this stuff, you know? But you guys make it so much worth it to keep doing this and keep going. And I just have to keep reminding myself, keep pounding. You know what I'm saying? Keep pounding. Through any doubts, through any frustrations, keep pounding. Because I'm doing it for y'all. Y'all are great people. That's why I'm here, man. You think Baker is going to beat out Darnold? That is a matter of opinion right now. And it depends on who you ask. Do I think it's going to happen? I do. At the end of the road, I do think Baker will win. But it'll be a tough fought battle. And like I said, this is going to go on through preseason. It's not going to end here. You know. And there's some people that just want Baker to have that job automatically right now because they think he's light years above Sam Darnold, which is not true at all. He's better, yes, but is he light years better? Nah, that's a stretch. Sorry, y'all. That's a stretch. I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing a 50-50 battle between these two every training camp day that I've been out there. One of them wins one day, one of them wins the next day. One of them wins this day, one of them wins the next day. And that's part of that is a result of Matt Rule not understanding how to properly evaluate things and do this in a systematic way that works, where you create consistency through like 2 or 3 straight days before you switch them up and give the other quarterback first team reps. That's how you should do it, I believe, because you want to create that consistency. You want if it's Sam Darnold that for that 3-day stretch, you want him to build that chemistry. You want him to build that what word am I looking for? Y'all know. Y'all know what word I'm looking for. You want him to build that consistency with that line. You know, develop patterns. Then you can go to the other quarterback, which is Baker, and say, okay, we're going to give you 3 straight days. Let's see how you do this. Let's see how you approach this. What's your style? What's your techniques? What are you trying to accomplish? You know? You're the new guy here. Let's see it. Let's see you, you know, shorten up that terminology. Let's see you learn how to build that chemistry with the line, you know, that Sam was already doing. You know, how are you going to approach certain things that we're trying to put into our playbooks? You know, and use during the regular season. How would you do it? You know, so that's the only real way to do it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just flip-flop back and forth like it's musical chairs. That's not how this works. Okay? That's just not how it works. And Matt Rule just doesn't understand. This is not how you properly evaluate quarterbacks. You look around the league at how they do this, as far as like how they give these quarterbacks these reps, and most of them do it in the way I just suggested. So, I'm just saying, you're not going to get a proper evaluation. And again, that comment feeds into the whole discussion of, does Matt Rule understand how to evaluate players? You know, there's a back and forth 50-50 on that. I can see both arguments, really. You know, yes and no. Okay? So, that subject in particular leads to a no. But, when you look back at how he's evaluating wide receivers, that could lead to an argument of yes, he does know how to. So I mean, it's a give and take right there. Maybe he's better involved at evaluating certain types of players and not so much other types of players, position wise. Maybe that's how it works. I don't know. You know, I'm not Matt Rule. I don't know how he does things. A lot of us are just like, this is a 3-ring circus and I have no idea. So, we're just trying to play it by ear and just see how it works. Your videos really help some of us Panthers fans. Good, I'm really glad. Ooh, excuse me. Running on no sleep, man. It's rough. It's rough. During training camp time, that's how it is, man. I get loaded up with stuff to do from like training camp stuff, plus streaming and making videos, plus family stuff that I have to do, and friends that want errands and stuff from me, and it gets complicated, y'all, around this time of year. So I'm just like, tight schedule, lack of sleep, next day, tight schedule, day off, sleep in, get the energy back, come back out here, do it again. 5 hours sleep, 5 hours sleep, 5 hours sleep, and it's just, it takes its toll, man. I'm telling you. Y'all don't even realize. Y'all don't even realize what I do for y'all. And I know each and every one of y'all appreciate it, man. And that's why I keep doing it. You know, I'm here for y'all. And in whatever way that these videos help y'all, that's awesome. Sounds like fun, yeah. Yeah. Walk a mile in my shoes during August, I'm telling you. That's all I got to say about that. Walk a mile in my shoes where everybody demands stuff of me, and it's hard to say no, man. It's hard to say no. Because you're bound to piss somebody off, but you know, it is what it is. I gotta do what I gotta do to get stuff done. In some cases, so. Corey Schefter says, I like the competition. I agree they should have to battle it out. I also agree Icky should have to earn that left tackle spot. Also, not just being handed to him. Yeah, exactly. Like, this is think that people like Skip Bayless keep making is they don't understand what training camp is. They don't get it. Okay? You got so many of these people out there that are newscasters that don't understand what training camp is. The whole point is competition. In order to see who wins these starting jobs, who takes second string, who takes third string, who takes fourth string on down the line. And then who gets cut. It's that simple. And I don't, frankly, if y'all have so much confidence in any one of these players, let them prove it to you. Let them battle it out. Let them prove it to you. We don't just hand them the participation trophy and just say, oh, yay, great job. You earned your starting job and you didn't have to do anything. You just sat on your couch and just lifted weights. That's not how this works, man. These guys are earning money for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, they gotta work for it. In any given day, these guys could lose their jobs to somebody that's younger and better and more physically able to do that job. And, you know, it's the same in the workforce. You know, if you work in Man, I don't even have a proper work example that I can give you guys, but you guys get the idea. You know? There's 100 of these players that could take these guys' jobs that want it way more than they do on any given day. You know? You gotta go out there and ball out. It's that simple, man. You go out there and ball out. You ain't got nothing to worry about. If you don't ball out, that's on you. Whatever happens from that point on, that's on you. And if it costs you a starting job, it costs you a starting job. You got to earn it back. That's exactly what this roster and this depth chart structure should be. Is any given day you could lose that spot. Any given day. Nobody's job is safe. I don't care how much money you're making, how long you've been with the team, what your popularity status is with everybody buying jerseys. You know, it doesn't matter. You got to come out there and ball out. Or that spot is not yours anymore. Period. That's what training camp is. And these news media people that like to throw shade at some of our players and act like they know what we are doing out here in Carolina. And granted, all they see is a couple of highlights of Baker Mayfield throws like a deep pass or something like that, or CMC makes a big run. You know, the typical big highlight plays. That's all they see, and then they want to judge on that. Man, please. You ain't coming out here and braving that 98-degree heat. Stop acting like you know everything about this team when you don't. You don't even come out here, man. All you got to judge on is those is on those tweets, man. Come on, bro. Just don't even try that. A lot of people feel that he should automatically get the starting gig just because he was 8th overall pick and just because he was a beast in college. Man, listen, man. That's Skip Bayless. That's the Skip Bayless people right there. And Shannon Sharp called him out. Shannon Sharp called him out. He said, if you believe that this man deserves that starting job, you know, just hand it to you, then let him prove it. It's that simple. They don't realize that just because he was good in college doesn't mean he was worth a darn in the NFL. NFL requires technique. Exactly. College, you can just be fast and strong. But when you come to the NFL, it's a whole new animal. That's right. That's exactly it. And a lot of these players learn the hard way and they lose out on their spots on these training camp rosters. They don't realize that's you got to be better. These guys are 50 times better than what you saw in college. Especially the veterans. They're 50 times faster. They're 100 times stronger. You got to match that or you're in trouble. Right out of the gate. And when you're evaluating some of these guys, you have to take that into account. Matt Rule. Come on, man. You can't just sit back on your laurels and just say, well, I've seen such and such in college. You know, I've seen highlights, you know, of these players before they came to the NFL and be like, oh, well, we gonna come up in here and act like everything is the same? Nah. Nah. Urban Meyer made that mistake, and look where he is. I mean, come on, man. Even Chip Kelly had his problems, too. He had to learn the hard way, too. It looks like Brady Christensen's been doing a good job. In my opinion, yes. I love Brady Christensen. You know, and it's not just on my draft board. It's not just because, you know, I liked him. You know, I'm putting bias aside. You know, Brady has really done a great job for us last year. You know, this is just purely based on what we've seen on the field, what we can judge on. Brady's done a good job. And I'm not going to remark on what I heard on C3 tonight, but, you know, I'll say this. Brady Christensen, in my opinion, did a good job today. You know, he's been battling with Brian Burns on the opposite side. You know, it's been a constant battle between those two when it's been the ones, you know, instead of just the ones on twos. You know, it's just been the one-on-ones. He's been doing a great job. Yes, he did have that holding penalty, but I mean, again, it's Brian Burns going full force, you know? What do you expect? He's one of the best defensive ends in the league. He's a Pro Bowler. Come on. You expect a 2-year Brady Christensen to be able to handle him on every single play? Nah. Don't even try to fool yourself on that. Brady's going to screw up sooner or later, man. And I'm glad he had that holding penalty in training camp instead of having that happen during preseason or regular season when it counts. You know? Get that out of your system. So, and granted, a lot of the things I'm saying right now go against what I heard on C3. You know, with some of the people's opinions, which is fine. You know, everybody's got their right to their opinions, but I base mine on what I see, what I hear, and what I know, based on what I've seen when I was there. You know, and I've been to 4 of these practices so far. And frankly, I've had eyes on these guys, man. From the very start. I always do. Every year. Brady Christensen is really good, though. I do think it would be Icky at tackle. Left tackle. Brady at left guard. Bradley at center. Corbett at right guard. And the one mighty Moten at right tackle. Yes, I agree. I think that's what it should be. You know, going back to this depth chart a little bit, you do have kind of a battle here at left guard with Pat Eflin, Cade Mays, Michael Jordan, and Dennis Daly. I don't know, man. So what you're saying is essentially Bradley at left guard, okay. Who is Bradley? We don't have a Bradley. I'll tell you what I think it was going to look like. It's going to look like Taylor Moton at right tackle. It's going to look like Corbett at right guard. No doubt about that. Deontay Brown's going to be developing. He's next in line. Mike Horton's awful. He's still improving, granted, but he's below average right now. He's got a lot of work to do. So I wouldn't say he's awful, but, you know, he's got a lot of work to do. I'll rephrase that. I apologize. You know, if any player's watching, let them know, you know. I'm always all about redemption stories, so show me something, Mike. You know? That's what I'm saying, man. Come out here and ball out. Show me something. I think Bozeman is going to take that center job. I like Tacklenberg at backup center. I don't trust Pat Afflin right at the moment. I think Icky starts out at left tackle. You know, tight battle between him and Brady. But you could definitely make a case for starting Brady at left tackle for sure. You could. You could, for sure. Yeah, Cade Mays is pretty decent. I do like Cade Mays so far. Granted, again, I'd like to see a little more of him. And yeah, shout out to David Screws. He's back. Appreciate you, man. He's our analyst, our expert right now on some stuff. But Bozeman. Okay, Bozeman. I got you. That's who you meant by Bradley. Got you. Alright. Yeah. How can you say we don't have a Bradley? Yeah. You're right. That was my bad. That's that lack of sleep coming in, man. You know what I mean? Like, oh. You know how it is. But yeah, I there was some positive talk about Michael Jordan, but realistically, I only saw like one good pancake block from him today, which I can account for. I can say I saw that, you know, and give him credit for. Otherwise, it's just been business as usual for Michael Jordan, where he just gets run over. You know, and it's disappointing. There is a scenario where one of these two gets cut. You know, Michael Jordan or Dennis Daly. One of the two. And we may end up keeping one of the two. And yeah, either way, I'm not going to lose sleep no matter which one gets cut. If both of them get cut, I'm not losing sleep over that either. Speaking of losing sleep. Hey, yeah, if you work hard in those long shift days, man, you know exactly what I'm talking about, that lack of sleep. Where you got all that stuff you got to get done, and people just won't leave you alone, and always want something from you, and you just run on that 4 to 5 hours sleep. Oh, it sucks, man. That's this time of year for me, man. For real, it is. Anything on Chuba? Chuba actually did get a rushing touchdown today. He's been consistently getting at least one rushing touchdown every day of training camp that I've seen. At least the 4 days that I've been here, he's gotten a rushing touchdown. So I think that Chuba's having a good camp so far. David says, here's my thing. we might disagree on the coordinator. We had Joe Brady may have made Matt Rule look bad. A theory I have, but it might not mean anything. Just thinking. I mean, the possibility's there. I'm not going to toss it out the window. But honestly, like, all the successes that Matt Rule had came after Scott Fitterer came here. Like, that first year of evaluation and just preparation was just, you know? And I thought, okay, well, what Scott gets in here, he accomplishes everything that Matt Rule has failed to do, building the roster, you know, talking to the players, getting a chemistry there, you know, and everything that you need both of them to be able to do. You know, Scott just does double duty and gets credit for everything. So, I mean, you know, reality there, man. You could consider that option, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not throwing it completely out the window, though. There's a few arguments to be made there if you want to play devil's advocate there. You could. Michael Jordan and Dennis Daly need to be cut, in my opinion. I completely agree. The thing is, man, if you cut somebody, you gotta replace them. And that's how that works. And right now, we don't really have anybody to replace both of them. That's why I'm saying one of them might get cut and the other one might stay. Which, I mean, that's okay. If they end up third and fourth string, that's okay. Whoever wins, you know, and doesn't get cut. They're not hurting anything as long as they stay behind Cade Mays. But if any of them should beat out Cade Mays, they better earn it. That's what I'm saying. Otherwise, we might be in some trouble here, man. Because I don't like either one of them. And I heard some people backing up Michael Jordan. I was like, why? I was like, why, man? You saw him last year. Why are you giving this team an excuse to keep him? I don't get it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, you know. Maybe it's just my opinion on this, you know. But I know some of the subscribers here and some of the followers here tend to agree with that, you know. So that is what it is. If you feel like he's a strong contender, let me know. If you feel that strongly about it, let him prove it. And I got a feeling, man, 8 times out of 10, he's not going to do it. I feel like that might have been a fluke today. But, hey, prove me wrong. Michael Jordan, prove me wrong, man. If you feel like you got more in you than that, prove me wrong, buddy. I'm all about redemption. Show me. Because I've given this man a lot of tough love over the past couple years, man. I want to redeem any players that I can redeem. I'd be more than happy to. I'll eat some crow for some of these players, man. I'm telling you. I will. I'll gladly do it if they show me that they are capable of doing it. And start balling out. But you got to show me. You got to walk that walk. I'm not just going to give credit where it ain't due. You got to earn it. And I got a powerful voice, too. I can redeem some players, too, around this fan base. Because I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere on these social media networks, man. Anywhere there's an official Panthers page, I'm there. You know, so I'm leaving comments, I'm leaving likes, I'm there, you know, where I can, you know. So, we got a powerful voice, man, and I can carry it. I can carry a player's name. You just got to let me know. Show me. Also, our two new linebackers, Damian Wilson and Corey Littleton, are they good? Well, Damian Wilson, as you guys know, actually got in trouble with the law, so we're waiting to hear back on that. And both of those two players have been quiet through training camp. During the 4 days that I've been there, they've been quiet. I haven't been able to give them praise, but I haven't been able to critique them either. You know? So, and my main issue with linebackers is coverage. That's always been the main issue. So, if we can start solving that, I think we can start really making some progress with the linebackers. I would like to see one more, you know, enter that fold in between this year and next year. You know, one more solid linebacker. You know, I think we gotta have that guy, you know, that can compete with Luvu and really bring out the best in Luvu to where he breaks that glass ceiling and gets that starting job where he belongs. You know, when he gets the opportunity to do it. I think he's ready. Alright, the two linebackers would be better. Oh, buddy. Oh. Sorry. Oof. No sleep day, you know. You know how it is. Will be better than what we had last year and the year before that. I can't think of the names right now. Well, we had Shaq leading the way. We had the guy from the Raiders. Reddick was his name. And the third guy I don't remember the name of, to be frank with you. I actually don't remember. Because apparently he wasn't as good as the rest of them, so I guess it didn't matter. But I have to check back, you know, through my records and see. That would be better than the Carter guy. That's a good question. That's a very good question. Again, I don't... This is our linebacker crew right now. We've got Shaq, Damian, Corey Littleton, Luvu. I don't know that much about Mobley. Kamal Martin, Stanford, Brandon Smith, Kalan, and Madre. And I got a feeling that Tolson here and Harper are going to be camp bodies. I just have that feeling. Brandon Smith will probably do something with. Stanford will probably do something with. Oh. Ugh. Sorry, y'all. I gotta grab some Mountain Dew. But, yeah, frankly, I don't know enough about these linebackers to be able to answer that question properly. if Matt Rule fails this year, no excuses. True. There are definitely no excuses. He's had all the tools that he could possibly need. If he can, there's no excuses. I mean, all the tools that Scott has given him, and you can't at least get to 500 with him? Nah, you're gone. The only person that's saving you right now is Tepper. And you seem to be Tepper's favorite person right now, so I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, Jermaine Carter and the other one from the year before last. Tough to say. Tough to say. I think Luvu is better than Jermaine Carter. I will say that. I feel confident enough to say that. With the rest of them, I don't know. That's the tough one. C3 and Locked On Panthers is my two favorite podcasts. Yeah, C3 is awesome, man. I haven't really checked out Locked On Panthers, but I'll check that one out later. Thank you for the suggestion. I've heard of them, but I haven't really looked into their podcast, but I think they are really, really good people, and I'm looking forward to listening to a little bit of that. I've been on a couple of podcasts recently. I've been on the C3 for the Friday Night Free-For-All last Friday. I know they had one this Friday, and I joined the chat for that one, but I didn't get in on the show, so like I did the week before. But yeah. And I was also on 9 Lives as well last week, so if you guys didn't catch that, go check those out. It'll be in the later part of both of those streams, so you know, if you're curious about what my opinions were on both of those, go check those out, man. After we get done here, so I wish they would move Chin. He did better at linebacker than safety. I completely disagree. You know, Chin is a lot more useful at safety than he is at linebacker. What we need is a linebacker that can play linebacker. It's that simple. You know, straight up. What we need is a linebacker that can play linebacker. We just need depth there. You know, Chin is right where he belongs as safety. Because he's making plays, he's doing work. You know, we throw him in for some blitzes, sure. I got no problem with that. Maybe a couple run stops. Let's have him do what he does, you know. But moving him up, nah. I'm not on board with that train right now. We just got to get a linebacker out there that's fast and can cover and can tackle. That matches Luvu, you know. Matches Luvu and Shaq. Reddick was amazing, but he was a defensive end. Debatable. Debatable. You could go either way with that one. Yeah, Chin is a good safety, though. Absolutely. And it would be better this season. I believe so, too. A lot of people are saying, you know, this secondary is going to pop off. I do believe people are sleeping on this defense. I'll continue to say it. I said it on C3. I said it on None Lives. And I'll say it again. People are sleeping on this defense. This is a top 15 level linebacker. With the depth that we have, it always happens in positions where we have the least amount of depth. Have you guys noticed that? It's an uncanny thing. It's unnatural. I don't know how else to explain it. It's a weird coincidence, but it always happens. I don't know what to do about it, man, but all we can do is what we can do to prevent injuries, that are preventable. So, I mean, it is what it is. And get rid of that turf is one of them. Come on, man. Even the soccer players want that gone. I'm not going to harp on that anymore. Y'all already heard that argument. You already heard my rant on that. Shaq's right, man. I support Shaq on this one. I mean, we could go and look up the numbers of injuries and stuff like that, but I'm not going to do that. Not right now. It's too late for that right now. I'll do that a different day. If I'm feeling it. I'm excited for Baker and Matt. Yeah, I think that's going to be a competition right there. All three of them are really battling it out for that starting job right now. Matt's still in the race. Looking forward to preseason. C3 was out of line tonight. Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. Oh my goodness. Were you in that chat when I was in there? Because I know two of the people that were named moderators were actually subscribers in here, man. Sacho Rob and Darryl Zero Chill. I've seen them in our chat like a lot over the past year. So I just want to give a quick shout out to both of them, man. Y'all some real ones. If either one of y'all want to come back in here and check out these chats, hang out with us, man, and become a mod, we'll do it. We'll do it. Real talk, we'll do it. Although, frankly, man, everybody's been so chill in these chats, man. There's really no need for a mod here. Unless we really want one. So, that's how I feel about it anyway. If we get big enough, then maybe. But right now, much love to both of them, though. As long as y'all are still subscribers here, man, and part of the family, man, we still love you. How do you feel about Matt Corral? I feel he is going to be dangerous in a year or two if they train him right. Yeah, Matt Corral is... They were saying that he was being compared to Drew Brees with the ghost snaps, when he's not even in. He'll pretend like he's snapping the ball and stuff like that. And it was reminiscent of Drew Brees. He used to do that. And also he would be on the sidelines just studying his playbooks, even when he wasn't in. That's just who Drew Brees was. He was always a competitor, always had that fire in him to where he just wanted it. And it was so cool watching that. I do have that respect for Drew Brees as a competitor, and as a person. Like, he's a good guy, man. Even though we had to play him, God knows it drove me crazy when that man beat us. But, all due respect to him, he had an excellent career, and I wish him the best of luck in retirement. But Matt Corral's got that fire that Drew Brees had. Definitely. You had Steve Smith vouching for him as well. I mean, I don't know what more you want. If they do train him right, man, he could be dangerous for sure. Our secondary looks kind of scary with JC back and CJ Henderson in the mix Xavier Woods. Absolutely, man. Don't forget Dante Jackson. You know, Dante Jackson is a baller. He's having an excellent spring training. Or training camp here, man. I'm excited to watch Matt Corral in preseason. Yeah, I think a lot of people are. There's a huge, there's a big enough group that really wants to see him succeed and be a starter and ball out. I don't know how many of those people are trolls, but, you know, I think there's a good majority that does like him out of that group. We had one of those guys in C3 last Friday, and I was like, okay, I'll hear you out. I'll entertain this. You know what I'm saying? Like, because Matt's still very much in this competition. Very much. He's thrown a few darts, and it's been enough to keep people's attention. I think he could do a little bit more, though. And I'm excited. I'd like to see a few more reps, you know, being given to him. Let's see him truly, like, come into this battle. You know. But yeah, this is a very dangerous secondary here. You also want to consider Justin Burris here. You can't forget about him. We just got Matt Ioannidis at defensive tackle. I mean, yeah. As long as they, and especially Jeremy Chin. So, as long as they don't use Sean Chandler in certain situations, I think we should be just fine. I'm not even worried. I'm not even worried about this secondary at all. Sean Chandler is the only weak link. And the more competition we bring in at free safety and strong safety, the less of a chance of him staying on that roster is. The better and better that competition is, the more we have an opportunity to chop this guy off our roster and get $1 million back. So I would like to see that happen. And if it takes $2 or $3 million to get a replacement for him, you know, I'm willing to eat $1 million. I'm willing to eat $1 million or $2 million off this cap. I'm willing to do it. If that's what it takes, you know, to fully flesh out this free safety to where we have zero weaknesses back there, you know, other than our linebackers, I'm willing to do it in a heartbeat. Because I've seen what happens when we put Sean Chandler in those certain situations. And it's not pretty. This dude cost us at least 27 points last year. You know, I did a tally. I straight up did a tally. He cost us the Vikings game. He alone cost us the Vikings game. With him in the first place, but still, you know, you discount that, we should have won that game. There is no reason. You know, we should have had 6-win season last year. Doggone it, man. And I'll continue to say that. There's certain situations where you can use him, like long drives, and it won't kill you. You know, Yeah, he struggles with coverage a little bit, but, you know, he makes some good tackles. He makes some excellent tackles. But then again, who on this defense could not tackle the same way? You know what I'm saying? For $1 million, find me somebody on that defense that couldn't tackle as well as he could. Find me somebody. That's what I'm saying. We'd be better off taking our mill and running. Instead of just signing him for another year. It makes no sense. But, you know, I realize I'm going to get a lot of flack for that one, and I don't care. And I said the same thing to the Chiefs when they signed Mike Rimmers. I said, he is your problem now. Have fun. Lo and behold, he cost the Chiefs the Super Bowl. Just like he cost us one, man. I was like, I tried to tell you. You didn't want to listen. That's on you. Chiefs Kingdom, that is on you. You know, and I'm going to continue to say that to the Panthers fans, too. And to the Panthers franchise. If we continue to put Sean Chandler in the wrong situations, it will cost us points. Period. Straight up. It will. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It will. And I think this coaching staff has gotten wise, and that's why this man is sitting at third in the depth chart right now. And I say, bravo. You are finally starting to learn from your mistakes. I'm proud of y'all. You want him in on long drives? Go for it. But don't put him in the red zone. Absolutely not. Oh my God. God help us if that man is in the red zone plays. I'm going to tell you. If you see that number on that field during red zone defenses, defensive plays, man, where we got to hold these guys out during regular season, that's 6 points. They're going to automatically target that dude. Whoever is on him, that is a mismatch from the Stone Ages. I'm talking Captain Caveman level mismatch. Y'all know what I mean? Like, it's that bad. And I believe that Sean could get better at that, then I would definitely give him the benefit of the doubt, you know, and give him the credit he's due. But I'm not convinced he can do better than that. You know, that's his ceiling. As far as I'm concerned. Prove me wrong, though. Sean, if you're listening, man, prove me wrong. Because I know I've thrown you under the bus so many times last year. I want you to prove me wrong. I want you to step out of those shadows. Out of that stigma that I put you in. Out of that toxic comments that I threw at you last year. Show me that you can be better. I want to believe, buddy. I want to believe. And I know you're a good dude. You know, I haven't met you yet. I haven't gotten your autograph yet, but I know you're a good dude. Inside and out. And I don't like throwing players under the bus. I don't like doing it. And just be that type of YouTuber, you know, that encourages success, you know, through continued good habits and continued success on the field, through continued press conferences, what have you. And redemption. Really. Yeah, if you're a player and you're watching, man, and you feel like you could be better, you could do better, redeem yourself. You know? Go out there and redeem yourself. Tomorrow's another day. You know what I'm saying? Like, come out there and show everybody. Walk that walk. You know? Keep pounding it. Walk that walk, man. Keep pounding through that stigma. Keep pounding through that shade. I want to see it. I don't just want to hear you talk about it. I want to see it. Because otherwise, we could bring in fresh blood and you won't even last 5 seconds. Choice is y'all's. Prove it. Choice is yours. But hey, you know, and here's another redemption story, you know. Robbie Anderson today. Or this week. Way to go, Robbie. You know, love that catch, man. Love it. Let's see more. Don't just stop there. Let's see more. One catch is not going to shut people up, man. You got to go out there. You got to keep pushing, bro. People are throwing you under the bus left and right now. Prove them wrong. Go prove them wrong, bud. Show people that you're not just here for the bag. Go out there and work. I need to see more. You know? Don't just convince those coaches. Convince us. Convince us, dog. Because right now, we ain't seeing it, bro. I appreciate the autograph, man. I do. Much love to you for doing that, man. Because I know you didn't have to, but much love. You know, real talk. I know you're a good dude. I know you got, you know, I know you got them good qualities in you, man. You got to show it on the field, bro. You can't just... Look, anybody can sign an autograph, man. Go out there. Go out there. Do what you do. Do what we signed you to do, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, as an organization, and I don't speak for the Panthers organization, but I speak for the fans right now. Please do what this organization signed you to do, man. Let's get to work. Anybody else want to talk about anything else? Throw it in chat. Y'all want to talk about fantasy football? We getting that fantasy football league going. You saw that stream last night that I did. I got a couple more minutes, man. Then I gotta be getting some sleep for tomorrow. Anybody want to talk about anything? No. That's interesting. They got Chuba over Foreman. And then Spencer Brown. I don't know, man. That's a tight battle right there for me. Any one of these three, and I would be happy with it. You know? You could reorganize those three any way you want, and I'd be happy with it. Same with the wide receivers right now in the depth chart. You know, you could reorganize Zylstra, Kirkwood, and CJ and Shy any way you want to. and I'd be happy with it, man. Because these four have been balling out. Real talk, they have been balling out. I like it, man. That's interesting how they have Richie as a fullback when this man is clearly a tight end. You know what I mean? I don't know if I like that. I'll let that go, though. But yeah, happy with the lines today. And I think that 2-bar drill that I was talking about earlier made all the difference. That plus Luke Kuechly visiting on Wednesday, and that D-line coach just lighting the fire in them. I think that was the final step that really pushed them over the edge today and made them fight. You know, made them push that O-line. Made them earn those reps. So I want to see more of that. Step your game up. Show me more of that. Alright, y'all. Any last minute people you want to talk about, throw them in chat. We'll hit that conversation up real quick. And then I got a dip. But anyone that is a new subscriber, a new follower to the Facebook page, to the YouTube channel, shout out to y'all. Much love to y'all. Welcome to the Keep Pounding crew and the family that we have built here. Much love to everybody that's in it already that is showing love in the chats, in the comment section, in the VODs, everywhere. Much love to all y'all. I just want to say thank you. It means everything to me. Alright, I'm going to give y'all about 30 more seconds, then I'm going to dip. Because I got to get some sleep. I got another busy one tomorrow. You know, I got to head out to Spartanburg again tomorrow. So, alright, y'all. We ain't got nobody else new to talk about. Alright. Let's get up out of here then. Yeah, we'll be doing a stream tomorrow. We'll be doing a stream tomorrow. For sure.
High quality music.
Make sure y'all can hear this. Alright, there we go. Alright, y'all. I may or may not have more time on Saturday to go through press conferences and stuff like that. We may have to schedule for Sunday or something like that. Or perhaps Monday to do that. You know, along with a fantasy football stream or something like that. Because I'm not going to be there on Monday. I'm going to be there on Tuesday. So, all right. Let's ride our way out of here, man. thank you so much, and I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Hey, one thing left to say. Keep pounding. Peace, y'all.